Cutters, Degrassi, Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, hello, it's Jeff Cutter. I welcome you to another Cutter, Degrassi, Unpopular Opinion. Now, this is actually piggybacking off of another unpopular opinion I did. Now, there have been a few unpopular opinions I have made themes of, as in I've done multiples of the same thing. One example is like doing multiple videos about Emma's issues in season 6 after the JT stabbing, and I basically said that Emma was warranted in her fury in season 6. I mean, after all, JT was stabbed at a party they should not have thrown. Her and Manny should not have thrown. Manny was living with Emma at the time. And the simple fact is, someone died. Steps from Emma's house. She was probably worried about the repercussions and, worried about having to tell JT's grandmother what happened and feeling responsible. And, Manny leaving Emma high and dry to go back home and all that. I know Emma may have had some okay, you should move back home, but I mean, Emma thought she was losing Manny and acted out in anger and all that. And Snake and Manny tell her to be Emma, to not be the dickwad Emma that you probably think she is. Now, of course, that kind of does set Emma in the wrong sense with friends, that she becomes clingy with friends. And that's, of course, another one I usually double down on, is about Emma and her clingy face, her clingy boyfriend and friend face, was because of Rick Murray. But in number 150, I did say that I was half right. Her clingy boyfriend face, her girlfriend face, I guess you can call it girlfriend face, because she was a clingy girlfriend to, Peter and Damien and Sean and Kelly, was because of Rick Murray, because, she was all by herself. She didn't have a boyfriend at the time, and she probably felt vulnerable and thinking that someone like Rick Murray type was going to shoot her again. And then, as I said, her clinging friend face was Rick Murray, but that is incorrect, because if she was a clinging friend, why would she be kind of bossy towards Manny in season 5? So anyway, in my 9th unpopular opinion, which was a long time ago, I don't know when I did this one. Hang on one sec. Sorry, you're going to hear a few seconds of the video playing, but I'm trying to pause it. I'm trying to get this up. I don't know what is wrong with things today. Okay, hang on. Okay, good. I got it paused. So yeah, July 22nd, 2020. So it was two plus years ago. I did something about Emma protecting Peter in season 6, and that was my 9th unpopular opinion about why would Emma, protect Peter and all that. So, thinking what topics I could do for an unpopular opinion without having to go through my Degrassiisms page and probably just making up some unpopular opinions, try to get to number 200. Well, I don't think I'm going to get to 200 that fast. The simple fact is that I still, 2 years later, don't understand why Emma was protecting Peter in season 6. So, anyway, I did a post 10 days ago, and this is September 3rd, 2022, the taping of this episode. And it says, unpopular opinion, I still don't understand why Emma was protecting Peter, protecting in quotations, in season 6, or even not going to Hatzalakos with the truth. In the episode True Colors, it was the fallout from the drag race between Peter and Sean for Emma's heart. It seemed that Emma was happy Sean was in jail, so that she could still see Peter, despite him being on probation and under house arrest. Let's not forget that Emma convinced Peter to sneak out to the school dance instead of risking him being in trouble with his mom or the cops. I know it took heavy convincing for Emma to realize that Peter was the bad guy, despite Sean hitting the guy that led to the issues in jail. But there's another issue I have with the storyline. Why did Emma either force Peter to come clean to Hatzalakos, I mean, it was his mom, about putting the drugs in Sean's locker to prevent him from getting Emma, or tell Emma herself, tell Hatzalakos herself about what happened? Because I feel that Peter would have been severely punished or vanished, and no one would have cared / minded. Yes, I know Snake wanted to say something to Hatzalakos, but still, Peter wasn't the type of guy we wanted to see on our screens in season 6. Alright, so context definitely needs to be used. In season 5, Emma was fawning over Peter because, it was the season after she nearly died at the hands of Rick. So she likes this guy, and he likes Manny. Manny tries all she could to say that Emma wants to be with you and all that, but Peter doesn't do it. Peter makes a topless video of Manny when she's drunk, and then once Manny destroys Peter's camera, and Peter demands the money for a new camera, which Manny can't give him, he distributes the video around school. And Emma has a bone to pick with Manny because she's like, I know that place. You were in Peter's place. You were stealing Peter from me. Emma, that's not the truth. I don't care. So Emma acting so pissed off and all that. However, it took heavy convincing on Emma that Manny was victimized, and Emma decides to help Manny out, like it or not. So anyway, that's when we learned Peter is Hatzelackle's son, and they're all son. Manny ends up being kicked out because of her acting and maybe that video. I don't know. But anyway, she stays with Emma for a while. Emma wanted to destroy Peter for Manny, but then she gets wooed by his sexy pics. So she basically fawns over them and wants to, keep a relationship with Peter for some fucked up reason. So anyway, Emma and Peter are an item. They sneak around because, they don't want Manny or anyone else to find out that they're together. But that's hard when Peter's mom has an innocent kiss with Emma's stepdad, aka Snake. Manny finds out about it. Emma has to tell Manny about the relationship and all that. But thankfully, Peter realizes about Emma's eating disorder, tries to help her out, and then that's when she lashes out in the intervention. But Peter does make a concentrated effort to help Emma out with her eating disorder through the summer, and she's fine. And then by season 6, she's okay. And then Sean pops up in the picture out of freaking nowhere. It's like, what the hell? I guess he was over his PTSD problems. Unfortunately, he doesn't stay in depressing long. After drugs were found in his locker, Emma thinks Sean was stupid about that, but it was actually Peter who planted the drugs in his locker because he said to Sean, who has his mother's locker key and all that. And then they had the fight over Emma and all that. And then in True Colors, Peter and Emma is convinced that Sean's the bad guy when it should have been Peter. Thankfully, though, with Jay and Manny's convincing, Emma realizes things and all that. So she then realizes that there's a mask in her locker, but Peter doesn't know her combination. Soon the truth finds out that he planted that there and said that, I wanted to make sure our relationship lasted and all that. Emma tells Peter to get lost. Peter gets in trouble with his mom for skipping out on house arrest, if you will. And, Peter just doesn't seem to learn any lessons from that. Emma then dates Sean, and Peter's upset. He goes with Mia and ruins it a little bit. So, yeah, that's the context. Like, I just don't get it. I mean, Emma had to have the clean boyfriend phase and all that. Because it's like, Peter's the bad guy here. Why is Emma protecting Peter? I think Emma, in a sense, wanted to be with Peter more than Sean. But the question on my mind is, why didn't she tell Peter that? If she really wanted Peter more than Sean, then why didn't Emma just tell Peter this? Because Peter probably would not have been a prick and trying to plant drugs in Sean's locker and all that. I mean, Emma deserves some fault in this, that she didn't declare her love for anyone, even for Sean. If she declared her love for Sean and then Peter planted the drugs in the locker, fair enough. Yeah, then, Emma. But it just doesn't make sense. I mean, there's gotta be something. And I still think the clingy girlfriend, well, I say boyfriend phase in the sense that she wanted a boyfriend. She wanted to cling to a boyfriend. I say girlfriend phase because she wanted to be a girlfriend. She wanted to be the perfect girlfriend and all that. I did not get too much blowback and all that. One person said Emma was selfish. That's it. Pitiful Blood also said Emma just cared about herself. But Emergency Elephant did say, I don't know if Emma thought she would be believed or even if she feared Peter if she feared Peter would come after her. Think about it. Peter was able to get out of being involved in hit and run without prison time because of family connections. And he never got in trouble with his child porn with Manny. Why would she think anyone would believe her about Peter? She might even be afraid he used the attention on him to say that Emma was stealing drugs for Sean and plant drugs in her locker. That does raise a red flag to me. Maybe she did believe that Peter did the bad stuff, but then basically, she'd be in trouble for that. I don't know why Emma would be fearful of Peter and all that. I mean, if Peter got caught with everything, I think Emma probably thought that, with Peter getting off scot-free and all that, I don't think she ever thought that Peter would come after her if she'd said something possible with Sean. I think in a sense that, I don't get it. Like, Emma wanted to be with Peter more than Sean. Okay, she should have said that. She should have made that point. But of course, it's the second part of the post also is that, Peter got no repercussions for the planting the drugs in the locker, it seemed. It seemed that nothing happened. And it ticks me off is that Emma should have went to Hatzilakos and said, hey, you know what? Peter has something to tell you, and forced Peter to tell Hatzilakos the truth about the drugs and all that, finding the drugs in the locker. If Emma had done that, well, she basically said, Peter, you tell her or I'll tell her. Emma should have just blurted it out right there and then, saying that Peter planted drugs in Sean's locker. Sean should not be in trouble. Peter's the bad guy here. Do something about it. And then Hatzilakos would have always had to do something about it because Emma was ticked off with Hatzilakos throughout season 6, pretty much also. And Snake would have had a fit with Hatzilakos. I think she would have realized that, oh, great, I don't want to piss Snake off. So she would have done something with Peter. She should have done something with Peter in the first place after the porn and all that. But why she didn't, I don't know. A mother's love is unconditional, but sometimes it can be too much. And that was why Hatzilakos had a bad rep as principal. I mean, to me, it's like every principal that Degrassi had from from Degrassi Junior High through to next class all had problems. I mean, Mr. Lawrence was unseen, but it seemed that he was just 80s thinking and didn't like progress and chewed out Caitlin for things. To the unseen principal at Degrassi High, in which Raj was basically the mouthpiece, being the vice principal at Degrassi High. Then next gen, when Raj seemed to be okay as a principal, but then season 4 brought out the worst in him, not giving into the students to get Rick out of school. And then, Hatzilakos with her motherly love and Peter getting away with murder, metaphorically, of course. And then the chef for being sexist and all that. Snake having several ups and downs. There's like little middle ground with him. And Pale being overreactionary and just wanting to make people play her way, which kind of led to her ouster in a sense. Fight me on that. But the simple fact is that, with those group of principals, Hatzilakos obviously is number one. I mean, she took over the school and did good PR, even though that it seemed to be over the top with the Kevin Smith movie at Degrassi. A lot of people would be scared to go near Degrassi because of the shooting. But still, I still say that, Emma should have said something to Hatzilakos, and then Hatzilakos would have had to do something because she would have had not only Emma to deal with, but Snake. And, Snake said to Sean, I'll talk to Hatzilakos about everything, probably letting you back in. Either letting Sean back in, well, the big option was letting Sean go to Degrassi back and Peter being at the discretion of his mother, or wanting Sean to come back to the school and kick Peter out. Sean said it was useless. Emma then grasped onto Sean. Sean wants to be yelled at by Emma and all that, which was kind of sucky and all that. Sean realizes he needs Emma more so than Emma needs Sean, although Emma would want a Sean. Because after all, Sean saved her from Rick's gun. Season 4. And then Sean leaves for the army. Emma feels high and dry. And then she finds Damien. And it's like, Damien, really? When he's in love with Manny and Liberty at the same time? as well in season 7. And then she goes with Kelly and becomes overreactionary towards Kelly. Yeah, Emma has a lot of character flaws, and this was one of her biggest flaws, was not telling on Peter or forcing Peter to tell on himself with the drugs in the locker. It would have worked. It would have been good. Peter might not have been kicked out, but still, it would have been good. It would not have made Emma into ditz or just pure hate it. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Thanks for